Hello, and good morning. Today's um, area of body you would be paying more attention to maintaining health is the glutes. And I'm referring to the calendar posted on www.dynamicstillnesses.com on the page named Dailies, where there's a calendar for this month and what we will be paying attention to. So it's an attempt to um, take care of different parts of a body like we would take care of a house. A house has different rooms, rooms have different spaces, and we are all busy people. So this is an opportunity to maintain different areas of the house, which is our body, our vehicle, our office, the first home from where we have a life. And the quality of life is also reflected and is a consequence of the bodily health that a person has. So, awareness, mindfulness, and present moment appreciation are some of the important factors in this method of yoga, which is a movementless method of yoga. Foundationally, a human body is not moving, or rather, is moving in a way that, unless we are aware of, it is not possible for us to appreciate the movement or the design that a human body or what our human body is making available. Over and above which, we have exercises, the activities we do, and several other health maintenance practices or not. But whether or not somebody is doing health maintenance practices, there is a human body from where a person lives life. And then awareness makes a difference, mindfulness makes a difference, present moment appreciation makes a difference, and then several other finer details that I also call healthier metabolism. And that involves several finer details, which then makes Nirbeeja yoga um, a multifaceted practice, a single multifaceted practice, which has stages of development. So, in the course, a person becomes a humaner being, mindfuler, and ennobled from their crudeness. Yeah. So we have the periodic table for a frame of reference for crude to ennobled, and so there are stages of development. When the metal of your body or your character becomes refined, finer over time, and you become a good human being, yeah, so to speak, yeah. Um, the green and the pink, yeah, the Galinda and Elphaba, so to speak. Um, your oxygen capacity and your health maintenance capacity, so to speak. Yeah, yeah. Your goodness and badness, no. Um, Superpowers, so to speak, is well balanced. Yeah. So you're like a pink guava, yeah, fruit of labor, and a good, nice, like watermelon, yeah, healthy, wealthy wise, in yeah. Hydra uh, is a microorganism found in waters, seas. When they took a cross section of a hydra, they found green and pink colors in the cross section. So there is also reference to hydra being one of the mothers, the tree of life mother of several layers of how life then showed up over time. So your pink and green is becomes more balanced. Yeah, you are more a mother of healthy, wealthy, wise life. So that takes some stages of becoming. Now, tree of life, yeah, from seed to tree of life, yeah. Now, the region of the glutes in the morning would be felt differently at different times of the day. Morning times is when the sun is just about to rise. And so your physiology has to deal with the strong force, weak force, electromagnetic force, gravitational force differently than in the evening when the sun is more setting. Yeah. And then there are other times of the day, for example, afternoon time, night time, But I'm making these lives only in the morning and evening. So just to build a foundational awareness sort of thing. And those who are interested to learn further could contact me. Um, I recommend visiting learn.dynamicstillnesses.com, learn.dynamicstillnesses.com, where I'm developing a community. So you could click the link, click the button, and then join the community, and we would have conversations. And according to what you're ready for, you can then invest, and we would have dedicated conversations behind the paywall. Now, so there are stages in development, so it becomes easier to um, learn according to your readiness and what you are now ready for. It's like a school. There is, say, baby class, first grade. Yeah. So depending on what you're ready for would be what you then learn. So, all right. And what I'm doing here is I'm speaking to the congregation. Yeah. To anybody who know or have preconceived notions about it, have attended different lives that I've been making, or been following my content on different social media. So different people are at different stages of knowing about what I'm doing. And so there is this opportunity. You have a body that's human, you already have the textbook or the study material, which we will be covering, which is also being covered in my school, learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. So Nirbeeja Yoga is one of the four verticals. Um, and this is an important part to then become more humaner enough to then learn meristem intelligence over time. So it's the four parts: breathe, heal, love, live. And today's topic is glutes. Now, the glutes are a set of muscles just like the heart muscles. They have a certain composition which is designed for a specific purpose. Like the thigh muscles are designed for a specific purpose, glutes are designed for a specific purpose. And their placement on our body makes something available for the body which other sets of muscles don't. Yeah. So the glutes are your bum muscles, yeah, your buttock muscles. Now, your buttocks maintain the center of gravity, and so the strength of muscles there is kind of like your jaw muscles, a little bit, yeah. Your jaw muscles that you use for biting food, the masticator, mastoid muscles, are some of the strongest muscles in the body. Your thigh muscles, mastoids, they're some of the strongest muscles in the body because the work they have to do is not the same as the other parts. Now, the glutes have to maintain your center of gravity. When you're bending forward, the glutes are participating in maintaining your balance, whether or not you can feel them. When you're moving back, side, any side, sitting, you want to sit, you want to stand, lie down, yeah, no matter what posture you take. It's because this center of gravity or these set of muscles are maintaining your center of gravity that you're able to fold like a book when you're say squatting, or when you're wanting to move in any manner, any direction. You're able to move like a book because you have the glutes and working in tandem, cooperative teamwork with other parts of your body. So the challenges that the glutes have to deal with in the morning versus evening is different. Yeah. Awareness of your glutes may not be an everyday practice, but when you are aware of your glutes, you would be functioning, moving, doing things, performing in a manner that makes life less difficult for the glutes. Why is it important? when it's like your teammates. If you have some teammates who are doing more work in more depth and intensity than other teammates, reducing their workload brings efficiency for what that teammate makes available. That's the same with heart, with liver, with any part of your body. But here today, we are working with the glutes. Okay. Some people are so not aware of their glutes that they have saddle anesthesia, which means their seat, they are not aware of their seat tissues because their nervous awareness, the awareness of their nervous tissues, nervous system is not so very finely connected with the muscles because you've always been sitting or being not so very kind about this sitting part of your body, and to the point that they've gone insensate. Yeah, the nerves are not as much innervated with the muscles, and so you might not be aware of pain or um, yeah, your muscles, different parts of your body have their own emotions. Okay, their own little well-being. You may relate to them differently, but your sensory appreciation of them, there are relaxed and happy, so to speak, and then there is tensed and painful. Yeah, there is also cold and warm, but your experience of living gets affected according to the well-being emotion. E as an energy motion. Yeah. And when we say energy, there's also matter. So how the thermodynamics is, so to speak, the fluid, the hydraulics, aerodynamics, and mm, several fine details, which we would have to open textbooks for. But not being aware of your glutes is what we are addressing here. I invite you. Um, so that's like several layers of textbooks I've not spoken about because there's so much to be spoken about that. So I invite you to bring your attention to your seating space, your sitting space, sitting tissues. And I invite you to sit while you're being aware of this method of yoga right now, because this can also be done standing, lying down, what have you. But awareness is key. So I invite you to bring your attention to your sitting tissues and to bring your attention to the back of your body, back of your pelvic girdle, which is where your glutes are. And I invite you to try and pay attention to the size of these muscles. Okay? Depending on how long you've been sitting or how long or whether or not you exercise, how do you take care of yourself? Do you walk? The amount of activities you do through the day versus not, they all have an effect on the glutes because the glutes need to be strong enough to be able to support your activities. If you're sitting for a long time, your glutes need to be strong enough to be able to support your sitting activity. Because a human being doesn't just sit in one place, moves, makes small micro adjustments. And the muscles have become the way they are because of the amount of adjustments the muscles are making to be able to support you doing your activity. And then, so I bring your attention to the sides of your glutes, your buttock muscles, and try and pay attention to the sides of your pelvis, which is also where the glute muscles are also having a fine relationship with the hip and with the thighs. There are inside the glutes, there are smaller muscles. Outside are bigger muscles. So it's a organism, yeah, yeah, body part, yeah, kind of like an organ, but then the definition of organ may not be suited there. So it's a heavyweight muscle, yeah, lifts heavy weights. Now, I invite you to bring your attention to any sense of warmth about your glutes, because the sense of warmth in your glutes may be different from any other parts of the body. Also, because several muscle bundles in several directions is having their placement, origin, and insertion. From where the muscle bundle originates, where they insert, is in several directions in your glutes. So the quality of warmth would also be by the direction of muscle fibers per muscle bundle in your glutes. And we have two, yeah, two sets of glute muscles. Um, so if you consider a brain like right and left hemisphere, glutes also have a certain fine details like that. So when you're paying attention to warmth of your glutes, and it seems a bit like, let's just say, a bit like stars. Yeah, you see stars in the night sky. Some places warm, the other places you can't quite feel. Yeah, so there will be warmth in some places. Um, so you have a little appreciation of where can you feel warmth in your glutes. And the warmth would change also depending on the tension of the muscles. If you're sitting, the tension on your glutes would be different than, say, if you're sleeping on your stomach. The relief of tension from the muscles of your glutes would be would help you be a little more appreciative of what your glutes are making available. Or where does your tiredness come from? You're likely to be a little more appreciative of where does your tiredness come from. And you may be sitting a long time. Yeah. So your muscles should be rested. But no, your glutes are at work. You're walking, sitting, moving in different directions. Your glutes may be doing so much of work that they get insensate from the amount of tiredness the muscles may be experiencing. Because like the hot muscles, the glutes are at work. Okay. Now, if possible, try and bring your attention to any sense of softness of your glutes. You see, they're only but soft. But the thing is, we tend to take for granted, or given that the glutes are soft because it's muscles, yeah, and so they have, yeah, they are soft and they are big, and yeah, they are not like bones. But the thing is, we tend to say, given that they are like this, and we miss out on the fine details. So this time, pay attention to your glutes in terms of tension versus relaxation. Now, that's a different kind of paying attention to softness. Again, I invite you to pay attention to your glutes in terms of tension versus relaxation. That would have you appreciate softness in a way that may not be otherwise possible. Because the tension would let you know where the muscles originate from and in which directions they go. And there are many directions that the glute muscles move, including from related to your spinal column to, there are muscles from the spinal column to hip joints, your pelvic girdle, and in many directions. And when you're paying attention to the tension in your glute muscles, you are likely to experience pain. Yeah, that's like a kid. Kid is crying, kid is crying, or rather, kid is going through what the kid is going through. And when you actually ask, "Are you okay? Everything fine?" Then you start seeing sniffles because of unexpressed or unheard expressions, experiences, which then now somebody is taking care of. And so then you will see the pain. Otherwise, you don't care. You don't know what the child's going through. So I tend to relate to my body as different kinds of people and often as different kinds of children because you got to take care of your body. Of course, when you're hungry, if you're not aware, you would reach out for food and then you would replenish your energy. But when you're taking care of your body, what you take care of takes care of you and your life too. Just not like child labor. Yeah. So this is a different relationship. It's kind of like you're being your own um, parent, your own body's parent, your lives, you're mindful of your life. Um, so yeah, you're being your own mother and father. Yeah. Um, and if you don't have such kind of maturity to watch over our own body as mother, father, what have you, grandparents, brother, sister, relations, different kinds, but more as your relationship with yourself as a nurturer, caretaker, best friend, yeah, partner, and lifelong partner, because you got your body and you got your body lifelong. So the longer you take care of your body, take care of your partner, you have good, nice relationship. And health, wealth, wisdom originates from the quality of your relationships and what you care enough to maintain relationships of, by, for, with life. Now, paying attention to glutes may bring up emotions, could take you through thought lines, emotional lines, memory lanes, because your tissues also hold tissue memory. And when you're paying attention to your glutes in terms of tensions, some of the pain that you experience would also be arising from life events in some way recorded in tissue memory. And what all tensions your glutes have been maintaining the center of gravity for. Yeah. So some of the tiredness. Now, there are people who would say about their jaw muscles, a lot of trauma, yeah, experience of living would also be when their jaw muscles are able to relax better. Similarly, your glutes. People talk about the psoas muscles, but I don't think they're talking about the glutes as well. Sometimes you could cry from what memories come up, what kinds of tensions come up. But that's like, when you're having a big emotion or, and then big emotions don't just come with just emotion, they come with a physical experience. And when that experience is really lived through, there would be a tear. Yeah, you would cry. And that's like the rain, uh, torrential rain comes and then the land just freshens up. Yeah, after such a torrential rain, a good nice big rain, and then the land just freshens up. Your experience of a glutes could be like that. And every day, this may be lifetimes we may never have paid attention to the glutes. But every day, like the heart or brain or different parts of your body, your glutes are doing work. And where a little care goes a long way in having a healthier, wealthier, wise life. Because several joints of your body have a relationship with this center of gravity maintaining region called the pelvis. And the glutes are maintaining the center of gravity in oh so many ways. So paying attention to your center would also have you be a little more appreciative of the head of the family, of the central government, of a core of Earth, yeah, the nucleus. So some core details would be more appreciated than just living a superficial life. Yeah. Now, if you notice the muscles of your glutes in some way feeling a little more softer than when you began this exercise, this awareness exercise, that would also be because your muscles have gone through some experiences. From your appreciating the tension of where your muscles start from, where they move, you may not be aware of those details, but you may be aware of at least the tension versus relaxation. And just paying attention to tension versus relaxation as you go through experiences also stored in the tissue memories. And if you've already gone through some experiences, emotional versus your mind not being here, mind wandering, that's your tissue memories living through an experience which would be about your whole body. Yeah. So memory trips, emotions, many kinds of things. And now when you're paying attention to your glutes, if your glutes feel softer or you're more aware of the softness, but in a different manner, you have done some work, you have done a little bit of Nirbeeja yoga. Oh, alrighty. Now, and your life would be much less tense, and your stories would be better. I invite you to write in a journal on what's been this experience today. If there's been an experience, if there's been, so what has been your um, experience in this episode of the live with Nirbeeja? And don't think much about it. Just write what comes to your mind. Um, just one word after the other. Just put one word after the other. And you might be interested. It might be interesting. You might be interested in what would show up there. It may be big, small, I don't know. But write it. Pay attention to your emotional response. Close the book. If you like to visit later, it might you can do that, but continue to write. Yeah, because this is your life stories. They tend to get improved through Nirbeeja Yoga, through different episodes of Nirbeeja Yoga. So maintaining your live journal would be a certain live kind of over time a recording of different changes. You can't even call that as changes. It's just experiences written. Over time, if you're going to just turn back through the books, what you've written, you would also notice what changes in your life story. That is also what I call as retrospective reflective learning. Yeah. So I hope you have a good experience, good episode, because yoga doesn't just stop with this life, and your life has more substance, you know, bomb substance, but um, life substance. Um, it'll be interesting how your story shows up, but that's for you. Yeah, those who participate, that's for those who participate, and you have the benefits. So if you'd like to have better, this is just well, a little one part of the body, and there are several finer details not covered, not coverable right now, because you'd have to go through different stages, kind of like first standard, fifth standard, 10th standard, what have you. So there are many stages in what Nirbeeja Yoga makes available. So it's a whole method of yoga, which is different from the Iyengari, maybe, or what's been called the Hatha Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. So there are many types. So this is a different type of yoga. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.